Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Olivia.
And we're going to show you how to make mac and cheese from scratch.
You need
A half cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of mustard powder, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, extra salt for the pasta water, a half cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter, 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese, 3 cups of whole milk, and 1 pound of small pasta, and it can be any kind of pasta as long as it's small. You will also need a cheese grater, a medium-sized saucepan for the cheese sauce, a large pot for the boiling of the pasta, and a strainer. Okay, so we just put the big pot of water on the stove, and I'm using 6 quarts of water because that's what the pasta that I bought calls for. Whatever pasta you're using, just read the instructions and use what it tells you to use. And now we're going to shred the 8 ounces of cheese.
And I will show you how to shred the cheese.
So I think it's really important that you use freshly shredded cheddar cheese for this, because pre-shredded cheddar cheese has something to coat it, cornstarch or whatever they decide to use to make sure all the little pieces stick. So if you don't have a scale at home, you don't need to worry. It doesn't have to be exact. This is what 8 ounces of shredded cheese looks like. Just try to get about that amount and you're good to go. If you're a little bit more or a little bit less, doesn't matter. So while the pasta water is coming to a boil, we're going to melt the butter. Over. And once that is melted, we'll add the flour. While the butter is melting, my water has come to a boil, so I'm going to add the pasta. Now that the butter is melted, we're going to add our half cup of flour. And mix it up. You're gonna cook this flour for 2 or 3 minutes. You're just trying to cook the raw flavor out of the flour. You're not trying to put any color on this roux that you're making.
Can I mix a little?
So now that the flour has cooked a little bit, we are going to start adding the milk. A little bit at a time. You don't want to add all of it at the same time because it will cool down your pot. So just a little bit at a time. Whisking constantly. Right now, we're basically making a bechamel sauce.
That's made from me and my dad. So that's a lot of milk.
Now that we have it all mixed together, we are going to bring it up to heat a little bit. You don't want it to boil fully, but you want it to very slightly simmer. And that's going to thicken it up. And once it becomes thicker, then we start adding the cheese. And there is a French word for that sauce, but I don't remember it. So we're still waiting for the simple bechamel sauce to thicken, and while we're waiting for that, we're going to add our other ingredients: the salt, 1.5 teaspoons, and 1 teaspoon of mustard powder. And so while we're waiting to thicken, we're just going to keep stirring with the whisk. You could take a little bit of break here and there, but don't walk away from it. It's gonna get thick in 5 to 10 minutes. So the cream sauce has been cooking for about 6 or 7 minutes, and it's already very thick. You can see what it does to a spoon. It's building on the bottom, and it's coating it completely. Now it is time to add the cheese. So you want to wait until each batch of cheese melts before you add the next one. If you don't wait and you throw it in all at once, or if you let it come up to a boil, your cheese sauce is going to be grainy. It'll still be good, but it won't be as good as you want.
No.
Okay, now add some more. No more. Okay, let's wait. Now that the cheese is all melted,
We're gonna pour it all on the pasta.
we've already drained our pasta.
Can you hold it? Very good. Looks like the mac and cheese we just make from a box.
And that is how we make mac and cheese.
Let's put a wrap and put the lid on.